Hello and welcome back to the Fintelligent Investor channel. I am CA Pratiksha Pai. We had started a series of financial planning in your 30s where we had done the first video of what is the background planning before you even start your financial planning in your 30s. If you have not checked that video, I'll put the link to that video in my description. This is video number 2 in the series, and in this video we will be discussing how to manage the loans that you may have taken in your 20s, how to set right certain loans and then move ahead in your investing journey. Why does this topic become very important? Because even before you dive into the world of investments, there are certain small financial leakages which you may need to stop or which you may need to cover up. And that is why we have to see if there are any mismanaged loans, then you have to take care of them and set it right and manage your loans well. So let's dive into the topic and stay with me till the end of this video because we are going to discuss various types of loans and it's going to be quite interesting and knowledgeable. As soon as you land a job in your 20s, you may have taken up a various types of loans for various needs and requirements. It could be home loan, it could be a vehicle loan, it could be a personal loan, credit card loan, any and many types of loans. The main question here is, are loans bad? The answer is no. Should you avoid taking loans? The answer is no. Is mismanagement of loans bad? The answer is yes. So, you should not avoid taking loans, but there should be a way in which you take up loans and you manage them. Before taking any loans, you should ask yourself certain questions. Why am I taking this loan? What is the purpose? Is it in relation to any appreciable asset or a depreciable asset? Is it for any necessity or any important requirement or any emergency? Or is it for any luxury spends or any unnecessary spends which can be done in a lesser amount of money as well? Is this loan for some business or a startup that you want to either start or scale up? So what is the purpose of the loan? Are you taking the loan to invest in any other avenues? So first you have to be clear about what is the purpose you are taking the loan for. In this regard, I said a question, is it for a necessity or is it for a luxury spend? What is a necessity? Let's try to understand. See, getting a car, purchasing a car in today's day somewhere in the metro cities has become a necessity. But you can go to buy a lower priced car and have a lower EMI of loan rather than going for some unaffordable car and having a high EMI which stresses you out every month. So, car, while it is a necessity, you have to go for an affordable one which then makes good financial sense rather than going for an unaffordable one which will leave you stressed and frustrated till the loan is finished. And when you purchase something which is slightly more than your affordability, you cannot even plan better to repay that loan faster. So wherever possible, purchase things which are within your affordability limits. Another example is a house. Say you can purchase a smaller house if your family is very small right now, or depending upon the space, situation and rates, you can take that decision. So in case you can have a comfortable lifestyle in a smaller house, then you can go for a smaller house and have lesser EMIs, and in future you can go for a bigger house. But at the initial level of your career, if you go for something really unaffordable, then what happens is your hands are tied up and you have no money to spend elsewhere or to invest elsewhere. Now you may ask, if I am going for something affordable itself, why should I take a loan even if it is a necessity? So see, here I have a simple take on this. Even a small house in a metro city these days costs around 1 crore rupees. Whereas you need to save around 20 lakhs to 25 lakhs as down payment and you can take the rest as loan. Now if you try to save the complete 1 crore, it may take another 8 to 10 years for you. By the time the rate of that house would have become 2 crore or 3 crore. So rather, even if there is some necessity, look at your affordability, save up to the down payment, and you can take the loan for the rest. Because whatever is the EMI today, that will be the same even after 10 years, even after 15 years, even after 20 years. But the prices of the asset, if it is an appreciable asset, will of course go on increasing. So if it is a necessity, if it is affordable as well, still you can accumulate the down payment requirements and then go for a loan, so that you don't have to wait longer in order to buy an appreciable asset. Because what did I tell in the beginning? Loans are not bad. Loans need not be avoided. You can manage loans in such a way that it will help you in your financial planning. So mismanagement of loans is bad, but if you understand the loan game properly, you can utilize loans to your advantage. Now, on the other hand, if there is some luxury spend that you need to do, like you want to go for a foreign trip, or you want to purchase an iPhone, or whatever, the latest type of gadgets, or any other luxury spends like, a new high priced purse, etc., then it is prudent to save first and purchase or do such luxury spend with the saved money instead of taking a loan for it. So this, when you do this for your luxury spends, when you save first and buy later, it also helps to inculcate a sort of a financial discipline within yourself as well. So for necessities, you can definitely go for loan. Where there is luxury spends, save first and make the purchase later. Next is avoid peer pressure or lifestyle creep while making decisions regarding your spends and decisions regarding your loans. See, someone has an iPhone doesn't mean you should also purchase the same. Someone has a big car doesn't mean you should also purchase the same. Maybe they have a bigger family. So understand your particular financial situation, affordability, and necessities and requirements before taking up any financial decisions and spending decisions and loan decisions. So this addressed the issue of in what situations can you take loans. Now, the next situation is that in your 20s, this video is for financial planning for 30s. So in your 20s, you may have already taken up some loans. So now in your 30s, when you are aware of the financial responsibilities, when you want to do financial planning, the first thing you should do is take stock of all the loans that you have done in your 20s. Check what are good loans, what are bad loans, which you can retain and which you need to repay as quickly as possible and clear it off. See, before even you talk about your investment journey, etc., you should clear off certain debts that you have which are just draining and leaking out your money. The number one in this is credit card dues. Credit card companies impose high interest rates anywhere in the range of 36% to 40% per annum. They advertise it as 3%, 3.5%, but that is per month. So when it goes to annual, it goes to 36 to 40% in some cases. Now see, credit card spends are a sunk cost. What is sunk cost? That spend is done. It's gone. You cannot recover it. The interest is also a sunk cost. In fact, I wouldn't be wrong to say that the interest on credit card dues are just draining your money. It is not an investment. It is not adding to your money in any which ways. So the first and foremost thing, if you have any credit card dues, please plan to repay it as soon as possible. Now, when I'm saying that repay as soon as possible, it does not mean that halt the payments on other loans. No, then your account can become an NPA. So first you have to do the EMI payments on all other loans, and whatever is left, try to repay your credit card dues with that first and foremost. Second is personal loans, like you may have some overdrafts or some other personal loans. Here also generally the interest is high, 14% to 20% per annum. So the personal loans also, you should plan to repay it as soon as possible and become debt free from these types of loans. Then we have loans like vehicle loans or education loans. Now generally these loans can be repaid as per the schedule, but if you feel the interest is too high or if you have any other responsibilities coming up, then it is better to try and plan and finish off these loans first. Like say maybe your marriage is coming up, or maybe there is going to be a childbirth in the family and you don't want to be bogged down by these vehicle loans and education loans, then you can somehow plan to repay these faster. And then we come to housing loan. Now, in respect of housing loan, please try to understand these are generally huge loans with a large repayment period. So, what I'm trying to say is, maybe say in our 1 crore example, if 25 lakhs was your down payment, you would have taken a loan for the remaining 75 lakhs. And maybe that loan spans over 30-year period. So, repaying it fast and finishing it off and clearing it off is not that easy. Okay, and so ideally, housing loan can go as per the schedule. However, if you want to repay it fast, do the extra repayments only when the interest portion is higher than the principal portion. In the initial years of the housing loan, the interest portion is more and the principal portion is less. And it tapers off. The interest portion goes down and the principal portion goes up as the period increases. So only when the interest portion is high and principal portion is low, you may think of doing more repayments, extra repayments. However, ideally, a housing loan can go as per the schedule. Why? Because it's a huge loan, and if you wait to first repay that before doing any other investments, maybe 7 years to 10 years you may spend in only focusing on repaying of the housing loans, and at the end of the 10th year, you will see that you are debt free but you don't have any savings, no investments. Rather, if you have additional money, pay the housing loan as per EMI, and whatever additional money you have, you invest it in the stock markets, in mutual funds, in various investing avenues, so that in that period of say 10 to 20 to 30 years, by the time your housing loan finally ends, your investment kitty is also built up and you have a huge investment portfolio as well, which may have given you much more returns than the interest you have been paying on the housing loan. Next point, very important, never invest with borrowed money. Do not take loan to invest, no matter how much low risk, low return the investment avenue is, either low risk or high risk, or no matter how sure you are of that investment avenue, please never invest with borrowed money, because here you have to repay the borrowed money also, and there if the investment crashes, then it will be a double loss for you. So always remember this golden rule, never invest with borrowed money. Then next point, since this is financial planning for your 30s, so if you are interested in entrepreneurship, then you can definitely take up business loans to start your startup or to scale up any existing business. See, when I talk about business loans, people generally tell that they are very scared to take business loans. But see, when you take a loan for business, you invest that amount in your business on which you get a return on the amount that you have invested. So it makes sense in some ways. Whereas, people say they're scared to take business loans where they can get a return, but they will definitely pile up the credit card loans without batting an eyelid. Whereas the credit card loans are just a sunk cost and draining your money. Whereas business loans, you can invest and earn a return on that amount invested. So if you're in your 30s and if you are interested in entrepreneurship, then you can take up business loans, and it is always better to take more risks in the 30s, because see, you can't be in your 50s and take a business loan. The 50s is for starting to clear off all the loans. But if you're in your 30s, definitely, if you're interested in entrepreneurship, then you can take up business loans. There are so many business loans. There is Mudra loan, there is CGTMSE, there is CGSS, and a whole lot of sector-wise loans, and certain loans like Stand Up India, where women are given a subvention on the interest rates. So a whole lot of loans, business loans are available as well. So if you have that entrepreneurial streak within you, and not only that, but even if you are somewhere feeling that your job cannot be your career, then definitely 30s is one of the best time to start your startup. rather than pushing it to 40s or 50s. So these were certain loan management tips for people in their 30s. If you felt this video was useful, give me a thumbs up and like this video, and also comment the words loan management in the comment box and get a shout out in my next video. Share this video with your friends and family who are in their 30s so they can probably benefit out of this video. We will come up with more such interesting videos. Till then, stay connected. Goodbye.